Hello and welcome, dear students. How are you all? I welcome you to the class of biology. Dear students, please take your seats. I think it's enough time now. Yeah, I can see your lunch back. Yeah, you're finishing your lunch, but please get back now. Yeah, you can continue eating it as long as you can, but please finish it quickly if you are still eating. On the front bench, I can see you. It's fine, I can understand. Yeah, don't leave your food in between, but just finish it within 5 minutes, okay? Alright, so everybody else, please settle down quickly. Students, I would ask you to report your attendance quickly. Please report your attendance. Tamenglong and Shillong Center, please report your attendance, and we'll begin right away. Alright, so yeah, please stop fighting. I guess you have some issues, but yeah, even if it's for fun, just stop fighting, okay? Alright, so everybody get back now. Thank you, Tamenglong students. Shillong students, please report attendance. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there are 8 people there. Yeah, please just write that number. All the centers. Yeah. So in the yesterday's class we were talking about some various plant hormones, because plant hormones or plant growth regulators, they play a very important role in deciding how plant life cycle will go. Plant life cycle is regulated by auxins, by ethylene, by cytokinin, by gibberellin. All these plant hormones, they regulate the plant life cycle up to a very large extent. So now today we are going to discuss besides the 3 major hormones, that is auxin is done, cytokinin is done, gibberellin is also done. Today we will discuss about 2 plant hormones which have let's say they can be grouped into one large category of abscission causing plant hormones. These plant hormones, they have a particular effect that they cause dormancy. Okay, they cause dormancy, and they have this effect of, whenever they are sprayed, they cause rapid cellular aging. The cell starts to age rapidly. It has this tendency to develop more cellular cell wall tissue, and because it is going in a particular direction, you can say that very soon they can die also. Okay. So this process that is related to many plant dormancy portions that we will discuss today, and also we will discuss about flowering, plant flowering and plant vernalization today. So please pay attention. All these sections also carry 1 marks. So basically you can get 1 question from each plant hormone. So please study carefully. Also, recently in the NEET examination, there is a tendency that in the 4 options you will have to choose true and false statements, and basically 4 statements can be of 4 different plant hormones. So if you do not remember them very well, it will be a bit problematic. Okay. So before we begin, let me give you a quick revision of what we did yesterday. Yesterday we were discussing about cytokinin, synthesized by root, and it is made by lots of plant tissues, basically root only, and it promotes cell division, lateral bud growth, bushy appearance. So pruning the branches to keep the auxin in check, that will cause something like the proliferation of lateral axillary buds. It is used in tissue culture. Tissue culture was first proposed by totipotency principle, Haberland. And on the basis of totipotency, we can take any plant cell and grow it into a complete cellular mass of tissues, or basically the whole plant. That was discussed yesterday. For gibberellin, we were studying about some very good literature is available on the plant hormones, like these are grapes grown by spraying gibberellin. If you spray gibberellin, then grapes will grow like this, right? So this is what we have discussed yesterday, and these are some varieties of grapes, but it was not discovered due to grapes, it was discovered due to rice seedling disease called Bickney disease. And in this Bickney disease, what happened is the seedlings grow abnormally tall, okay, foolish seedling disease. So it was this infection due to the infection of Gibberella fujicori. Gibberella fujicori produces gibberellin. GA3 is the major gibberellin. You can write it is gibberellic acid 3. Yeah, 3 gibberellic acid. 3 gibberellic acid is the major gibberellin hormone. It is GA1, GA2, GA3, but GA3 is most common. GA3 is most common. It is flowering fruiting hormone. It breaks the dormancy of plants and seeds. It promotes the conversion of starch into soluble carbohydrates like sucrose, etc. Mobilization of food reserves. Causes bolting. Increases fruit size. Sugar content in grapes and other fruits. One point we had not written, but I had told you yesterday, that if gibberellin is sprayed on, if gibberellin is sprayed on Mendel's dwarf plants, it can be any dwarf plant also. If you spray it on any dwarf plant, it will become tall. It will become tall. So tall plant is capital T or capital T small t. But if you spray gibberellin, even small t will have a plant height equal to that of the small capital T small t or capital T. That is the main thing that you must remember. So basically, capital T gene or capital T allele causes synthesis of, this means capital T allele causes more synthesis of gibberellin. That is why after giving this hormone, the effects become same. Phenotype becomes genetically similar. Phenotype becomes similar to the genetic tall plant. So that is a major difference. Capital T allele causes more synthesis of gibberellin hormone. Can you compare gibberellin to any plant, any hormone in our body? Can you compare gibberellin to any hormone found in human body? I am asking you in general. You can compare it to one hormone, and it is released by pituitary gland. What is the name of that hormone? Can you guess? Can you guess? There is one hormone that can be compared somewhat to the gibberellin hormone. So what is the name of that hormone? Growth hormone. If you give growth hormone to any dwarf person, he will or she will like it will not be very sudden. Like if you give it to a small teenager, growth hormone will show effect in adults also, in teenagers also. In adults, if growth hormone is produced more, their backbone, they will have this humped appearance. They will have a curved gait and they will suddenly start bending forwards, because growth after let's say 30-40 years, that is not possible, right? So in adults it causes a disease called as acromegaly, but if it is secreted in dwarfs, they will become tall. If it is secreted in tall person already somebody who is producing a lot of growth hormone, then it causes something called gigantism. 7 feet, 8 feet tall people, 7 feet, 8 feet tall people, and they become so tall because of excessive growth hormone. Okay. All right. So that is the thing. All right. So so let's continue. So gibberellin is done. Today we will study about abscisic acid, ABA. So what does ABA do? Do you remember the actions of ABA? What does abscisic acid do? What does abscisic acid do in general? What does abscisic acid do? Okay, no ideas? Look, abscisic acid, if you want to see, wait a second, there is a mistake. Abscisic acid, if you want to see the effect, you should see those plants which have seeds in their dormant condition. You should see those plants which are facing severe drought condition. Drought condition, that is water deficiency conditions. And in those plants in which there is any sort of adverse condition present, in those conditions, in all conditions of adversity, abscisic acid will be secreted. So you can say it is an adversity or distress hormone. Adversity or distress hormone. Adversity or distress hormone. Can you compare abscisic acid to any hormone in our body? Can you compare abscisic acid to any hormone in our body? Yes. You should see this question in this manner. What is the hormone produced in animals in distress condition? Come on. What is the triple F hormone? The fear, fight, flight hormone. What is it? How many of you have heard about the song in a movie by Vin Diesel called the Adrenaline? Yeah, you should, heavy metal fans or rock fans should listen to that song. It's called adrenaline. Adrenaline is the name of the hormone, the distress hormone in animals. Okay, I thought you would guess it, but it's okay. Alright, so abscisic acid is responsible for bud dormancy, seed dormancy. So what you should write is ABA is a plant hormone which is responsible for seed and bud dormancy, control of organ size, and stomatal closure. Okay. So this is what abscisic acid does. Okay. What you will write about it, abscisic acid? Please pay attention now. What you will write about abscisic acid? Abscisic acid, you can say it plays important role. There is not much to write about abscisic acid. It plays important role in the seed development, maturation. This is basically I am writing it again in different form, because question can be asked from many angles. In seed development and maturation, which hormone is responsible? Abscisic acid. Seed development and maturation. In the synthesis of in the synthesis of just a second. In the synthesis of proteins and compatible osmolytes, which enable plants to tolerate stress. Plants to tolerate stress due to environmental or biotic factors. And as a general inhibitor, of growth and metabolic activities. Okay. Alright. So this is the thing. Now let me show you some yeah. Okay. Now there is one more thing. Economic importance of ABA. Economic importance of ABA. Now, can you guess that where can we use abscisic acid if you want to put it to application? For example, if you want to use auxin, you want to use auxin and cytoquinin for tissue culture. Gibberellin, it has the effect of increasing fruit size, so you will obviously spray it on plants to increase the fruit size. But what can be the possible use in practical life of abscisic acid? Can you guess? Okay, so I can see so many people. Yeah, you can search on your phones also. The one at the front desk, I can see you are searching, I guess, for whatever reasons. All right. Okay, so let me give you an example. In Rajasthan, in arid regions, there are some places where there is very less rainfall, and in such rainfall, agriculture becomes very, very difficult. So we have some synthetic abscisic acids, because making natural abscisic acid is very, very difficult, very costly. So we have some synthetic abscisic acid derivatives that we can use and can spray on the plants. Okay, and what will happen in this condition? These plants will immediately close their stomata. Abscisic acid is adversity hormone. It is responsible for closure of stomata. If you spray it, plants will say, yeah, some adverse condition, some difficult environment has come. So what shall I do? I will close my stomata. It becomes prepared. For example, if you become prepared for some danger, your hair starts standing on one end. Plant has a somewhat similar response. It immediately closes its stomata and prepares for water deficiency. Okay. So there is a substance called phenyl mercuric acetate. It is also called anti-transparent chemical, and this anti-transparent chemical is used for the helping in the agriculture. So please write phenyl mercuric acetate. Mercuric acetate, PMA, phenyl mercuric acetate, PMA, plays an important role as an anti-transparent chemical. Anti-transparent anti-transparent means something which stops transpiration. Chemical which stops transpiration. And it is a synthetic abscisic acid. It is a form of synthetic abscisic acid, synthetic ABA. It's a form of synthetic ABA. It's a form of synthetic abscisic acid, synthetic ABA. Now this synthetic abscisic acid, it will help in, it is sprayed on plants in arid region. It is sprayed on plants in arid regions. In agricultural fields, because if it is not sprayed, such plants will require very large amount of water, and irrigation is not possible in arid areas. Arid areas means deficiency of water. Rajasthan areas, Rajasthan like area, very less water available. That is the importance of abscisic acid. I hope you get it now. All right. Okay, so let's continue. Now let's put the heading ethylene. I hope you have written it. Okay, just please finish copying and then we'll move on. Please finish copying first. Okay, so please finish. So please finish it. I hope you're done. Everybody is finished now? Come on, please. It is not so much, is it? Please finish fast. Okay, so let's continue with ethylene now. Now ethylene, as you already know, that it's an important plant hormone, and I believe in moral, like, how many people of you have heard about the moral science story in which a man goes to the market to teach his son a lesson on the basis of bad apples and good apples? Do you remember that story that you are told in moral science? I think I've told you, I guess it is a different batch, or I have discussed with you only. I'm not sure very much. Do you remember that moral science story? Yes? Okay, I'll give you some. Look, a man has a son who is developing some bad habits due to bad company. Okay. A man has a son who is developing some bad habits and all that, smoking and drinking and whatever. So what happens is that he takes him to the market and he buys some very good apples, totally perfect apples, and then he places those apples in a cupboard, and he also buys purposely some chemicals not chemicals. He also buys purposely what happened is, so he buys some good apples and some bad apples, and he places one bad apple, one rotting apple, along with some very good apples. And what happens is that he asks his son to keep them together. So the son says, why are you keeping one rotten apple with some good apples? He says, just wait and watch. So he closes the door and asks his son next day to open that cupboard and see what's happening to all the apples. So all the apples had become rotten. Okay, yeah, that story. So basically that is because of ethylene. You take some tomatoes, ripe tomatoes and non-ripe tomatoes, and put them together. All the tomatoes will become ripe. So whether it be tomatoes, pineapple, apple or any other thing, ethylene is a plant hormone which causes abscission and fruit ripening. It is the only gaseous hormone. It is the only gaseous hormone that you can find. Only gaseous hormone that you can find. And this, give me a second. Yeah, okay. So okay, now so you can understand the meaning of this image. Everybody can understand the meaning of this image. On the left hand side there is a ripe banana. On the right hand side also there is a ripe banana, but there is a difference between the two. Okay, this this is overripe and it can also be eaten. In fact, this is better, just about ripe. Actually, I should write it as fully ripe banana. It's perfect for eating. Actually, fully ripe bananas with black spots have anti-cancer properties. The anti-cancer properties are found only in this one, only in this. On the left hand side, the banana, that does not have this property. Okay. On not just this type of banana, we can have many other examples also. It is all because of ethylene. Please write, it is the only gaseous hormone chemical formula of ethylene is CH2 double bond CH2. IUPAC name of ethylene. What is the IUPAC name of ethylene? Do you know? What is the IUPAC name of ethylene? I have also written the chemical structure. Ethene. If CH3 was there, you called it ethane. CH2 double bond CH2, ethene. If CH triple bond CH was there, then you will call it ethyne. But this is ethene. Alright, now one more thing to show you. is some problem with the file image. Alright, no problem. So let me show you some more examples of what I am trying to tell you here. Ethylene. Yeah, first let's start from abscisic acid that I just told you. Okay, so basically it was discovered from cotton balls. This is the chemical structure of abscisic acid. Okay, and I can give you this PPT. Okay, general growth inhibitor, stomatal closure, response to stress. Okay, all these things are there. Okay, this is that. And what happened was, let's move on to ethylene now. In what happened is, in the later part, in the 1800 time, in the 19th century basically, we did not have street lights. At that time, oil lamps were burned. And when oil lamps were burned, nearby that area, because of ethylene release, the plants develop very short, thick stems, and the leaves were falling off very quickly. The leaves become yellow, and after becoming yellow, they fall off. So basically, some Russian scientists, they identified that this is because of ethylene, and this gas can affect plant growth. And he showed that, with the help of another scientist, that this gas is basically produced by plants also, and it causes faster fruit ripening. Okay, and synthesis of ethylene is inhibited by carbon dioxide, alright, and also requires oxygen. Chemical structure you already know. Now let's see about the effects. It is gaseous in form, causes rapid it is diffusing very rapidly, already you know that. And gas produced by one plant will affect all nearby plants. Wherever it is released, it will show its effect. It encourages senescence abscission, initiation of stem elongation, bud development. And also, it inhibits flowering in most plants, but it promotes flowering in pineapple, it promotes flowering in mango. So in these plants it is useful. Also, ethylene causes more development of female flowers. It causes femaleness in plants. Yeah, this is the effect of ethylene. It causes femaleness in plants. There are some plant hormones which have some specific effects, like number of male flowers increased or number of female flowers increased. So basically, femaleness is also initiated by this hormone. Okay, sex expression. Cucumber buds treated with ethylene become carpellate, that is more female flowers, and if treated by gibberellin, it develops more male flowers. So gibberellin causes maleness, ethylene causes femaleness. And there are some tropic and other responses also, so we will talk about that later. Let's first finish it about ethylene. Let's finish this quickly. It is the only gaseous hormone. It causes senescence, abscission, in plants. It causes senescence, abscission in plants, senescence and abscission in plants. And what happens is, this ethylene hormone, if you use it, it causes fruit ripening. So what we do is, whenever we have to transport some large quantities of fruit like bananas will always be picked from the place where they are they are produced in green form. They will be transported on ships. Suppose their ships are going to Africa, to USA, to Britain, all these countries. Bananas are basically a tropical fruit. So from tropical countries to all other countries where tropical climate is not found, like America, all these places, it will be transported in ships, and during the journey, during this 2-month, 3-month period, by the slow release of ethylene gas, it will ripen by itself. The fruit manufacturers know that it takes this much time for it to go from this place to that place, and by this time it will become mature. It will become fully ripe, fully perfect for eating. So they cut it in green form, transport it, and when it goes along on the ship during that journey, it becomes ripe by itself. So there is a chemical also in India. What they do is, they also use a chemical to treat. Suppose what happens, everybody knows mangoes, everybody knows mango pickles and all that. Yeah. So what happens is, in the month of February, March, when the mango is just ripening up, mango flowers come in early February. They start to grow in February, March, April, May, and up till June they will become fully ripe. Okay. But during this time, during the month of end of March and early April, there are some windy conditions prevalent. During this period, during the hot climate period, there is some hot high velocity winds flowing. That causes lot of green mangoes to fall down from the tree, and what happens is, the mango manufacturers could quickly put them in separate wooden baskets, and they put a chemical which slowly releases ethylene by itself. There is a chemical called ethefon. It is available in the fruit manufacturers area. Sometimes mangoes and bananas, they come coated on, when their skin is having some white kind of deposit. That is because of a salt, a sort of masala, and that produces ethylene gas. So you will have to learn the name of this chemical. It is called ethefon. Artificial fruit ripening is done by help of ethefon, which releases ethylene. Artificial fruit ripening is done by ethefon. Ethefon. This chemical slowly releases ethylene. Slowly releases ethylene. Okay. You can also write, when sprayed on plants, some plants, ethylene induces femaleness. Femaleness. Example, cucurbits develop more female flowers. This is the opposite of gibberellin. Gibberellin causes more development of male flowers. So you can write somewhere gibberellin causes maleness. Okay, that is the effect of these hormones. General plant action on it by ethylene is ethylene in general causes senescence and abscission. Senescence and abscission. Okay, that is the effect of ethylene. So this is the end of plant hormones. Okay. But plant growth regulator chapter is not finished. Plant growth regulator chapter is not finished because we have to deal with other things here. Do you want a short break or something? Well, actually time is almost over, but do you want a small break or something? Okay, take a quick break, 5 minutes. So we'll proceed the last part of this unit, plant physiology unit. Okay, take a 5-minute break quickly. Okay, so we are back. All right, so let's continue. Let's finish plant physiology unit today. Now we have to complete the last part, which is something called photoperiodism. Which is called photoperiodism. So please put the heading photoperiodism. Okay. So in winters you will see some plants which will flower specifically only during this time. Okay. In winters there will be plants which will be undergoing flowering only in this time. So some plants are called short day plants, some plants are called long day plants, and some plants are called day neutral plants. Some plants require a periodic exposure to light to induce flowering. If they do not require if do not receive the proper amount of light, they will not undergo flowering. To induce flowering. Okay. So these plants have the ability to sense the duration of exposure to light, have the ability to measure the duration of light. Exposure to light period. Right? So this means that some plants require the exposure to light for a, let's say, very critical duration, very less duration. Okay. So some plants which require light to be exposed for very less time, they are called short day plants. And then there are three categories, so just write. Based on this duration, there are three types of plants. Based on this duration time, there are three types of plants. Three types of plants. What are these types of plants? One is short day plants, long day plants, day neutral plants. Long day plants, long day plants. Okay. Then there are day neutral plants. Wait a second, let's write short day plants first. Third category is day neutral plants. So long day plants require the exposure to light for a very long duration. Can you name some long day plants for me? Can you name some long day plants for me? Can you name some long day plants? Yes. Some long day plants. No idea. Come on. Any plant that undergoes flowering in the, let's say, in the summer time only, not in the winters, that will be long day plant. So what are the long day plants examples? Okay, sunflower. Yeah, well, the thing is, yeah, you have a good example, but just try to confirm whether sunflower is a day neutral plant or it is long day plant. Okay, I want you to write some examples by yourself. Write 2 examples of each long day, short day plants. I can give you the hint that all plants which undergo flowering in summer also, winter also, any season, they are day neutral. Short day plants are those plants which you can see flowering in this time only. So that will be tulips, that will be gladiolus, that will be, let me give some other examples, yeah, dahlia, okay, all these plants, they will undergo flowering in winters only, okay. And day neutral plants, for example, you know, Tagetes erectus, marigold, okay, these will be under day neutral. Yeah, lotus is a long day plant, very good. Daisy, sunflower, yeah, very good, very good. So write 2 examples each of long day plants, short day and day neutral plants. Okay, so do that by yourself. Now the question that is asked in your examination, that is important. That question was, how do plants know how much duration of light is there? How do plants know? So for that question you need to write one important point now after this. Plants are able to tell duration of light, sense light duration. What about rose? Yeah, very good question. Rose will also be a day neutral plant. It flowers in winters also, summers also, any time. Okay, but only thing is, roses are spoilt by the frost. Roses, when frost is there, that time it will not be able to withstand that frost. So rose flowers are affected by frost. Otherwise, it gives very good flowers in winters also. So any plant, there is another plant called Sadabahar, Vinca rosea, Catharanthus roseus. It's also day neutral. Sense light by the help of phytochrome pigment. Phytochrome pigment is synthesized in the leaves, and there are 2 types of phytochrome. Synthesized in the leaves. Synthesized in leaves. All right. So now let us take a look at how phytochrome does this job, and then we will be able to understand it better. Phytochrome works by this fashion. This is how phytochrome works. This is how phytochrome works. phytochrome is a pigment that is sensitive to darkness or light. If it has two forms, phytochrome red, phytochrome far red. If phytochrome pigment is exposed to long period of darkness, if phytochrome pigment is exposed to long period of darkness, it will change into phytochrome red form. Okay, phytochrome far red causes flowering in which type of plant? Which type of plant? Can it? Yeah, can you please send us those pictures in the group? Which pictures? These pictures are you talking about, or you are talking about the PPT? PPT I am directly sending to you right now. I am sending it on your WhatsApp group. Okay. So droppers, you will get the PPT now. Let me give you that PPT right away. I am sending you this PPT in your WhatsApp group right now. Senapati, Churachandpur and Shillong group. Okay. So I know these three groups only. So you can take it from here. I've sent the PPT. It should be on your WhatsApp groups right now. It's having 54 slides. It's uploading. It should be there in about 20 seconds. Okay. All right. So this has all these images. This PPT has all these images. So what I'm trying to tell you now, that phytochrome far red, there is phytochrome far red, phytochrome red. So both have a different type of response. I've sent you this PPT now. This should help you out. This should help you out. Okay. This should help you out. Okay. Okay. So yeah, let's continue with what we were doing. Yeah. Okay. So phytochrome red and phytochrome far red are responsible for flowering in the long day and short day plants. Okay. So phytochrome far red causes flowering in some other type of plant. Red is causing flowering in other type of plants. When one form of phytochrome changes into the other form, then that means only one type of response will be initiated. Only one type of response shall be initiated. Okay. So just try to remember, this is not given you in NCERT. Not given you in NCERT. Flowering is because of phytochrome far red generally. Phytochrome far red will be produced in the duration of red light, or if it is exposed to short period of darkness. Okay. So this response is because of phytochrome. So this is important for your exams. Try to remember that. Okay. So let us finish the last part. Besides phytochrome and circadian clocks, you have some other topics in your exams which are not given in your book. So these are called tropic responses. Try to learn this quickly. What are tropic responses? If there is a plant part which is attracted or stimulated in growth towards an object or due to a stimulus, it is called a tropic response. The opposite of tropic response is called taxic response. Taxic response is that response in which a whole plant part migrates, moves from this place to that place. That is a taxic response. But here we are studying about tropic responses. So let us finish this quickly. Basically, it responds to, is basically a directional movement by growth in response to directional stimulus. So one is called phototropism. Phototropism is growth towards light. You can see the seedling is moving towards the direction of light. Okay. So this is phototropism. I have already explained phototropism to you. Okay. Now in phototropism you will remember one important thing. If we give any other color to any other color of light to the plant except blue light, it will not show phototropism. This is what you must remember. If you give any other color of light except blue light, then it will not show phototropism. Like red is not inducing phototropism, and orange is not inducing phototropism, green is not, yellow is not. But if you give blue light, only blue light, it can induce phototropism. Without blue light, white light will not induce phototropism. White light can induce phototropism, sorry, but without blue light, all other colors of light combined without blue color cannot cause phototropism. Okay, and it is basically due to oxygen. Gravitropism is something due to which happens due to direction of gravity. Okay, gravitropism is movement towards gravity. So this has the root which is growing directly towards the direction of gravity only. If you remove the root tip, now the plant will go horizontally. So because the root tip has having some kind of stimulus response, it shows gravitropism. And that is because of something called statolith, which are calcium carbonate crystals. Calcium carbonate crystals. Okay. Next thing is thigmotropism. Thigmotropism is movement due to touch. Just remember this term. Phototropism due to light, gravitropism due to gravity, thigmotropism due to touch. So you can see this. Okay. Seismonasty. You have seen touch me not plants? Yeah, you did not send the MCQs. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I am actually preparing. Yeah, I had those MCQs, but yeah, I could not scan them. I have yeah, I have compiled all of them, but I'll send them to you today. I could not send them to you yesterday because of some issues, but yeah, I remember that. I'll send them to you today. Morphology chapter you will receive it by today. Okay. For morphology you will receive it today. I am saying this and I'll give it to you. Seismonasty. Even these pictures, I have sent you these pictures in your group. I have sent you these PPT in your group. Please check your WhatsApp group. So Droppers, Churachandpur, Shillong, and Senapati. All these three WhatsApp groups I have sent this PPT to you. All these pictures are there only. So check this PPT, open this PPT, you will find it. And then there is seismonasty. So whenever you touch a leaf of Mimosa pudica, it immediately closes the leaf. This is important for your NEET exam because the name of this is asked. It is being asked that what is the name of this? Give me a second, what's happened? All right. So just try to remember this. It is called seismonasty. It is called seismonasty. It is called seismonasty. Okay. Then photoperiodism, you already know. I have already just told you how phytochrome works. This is due to light duration. Nyctinasty is the sleep movement. In the night time, the plant has this movement. The leaves are drooping down. The leaves are drooping down. Okay. So this drooping down movement, that sleep movement, it is called nyctinasty. Okay. In the daytime, as soon as sunrise is happening, the plant leaf will come up. When it is movement for sleeping time, like night time, the leaves are slightly droop down like this. Okay, so this is called, just remember these terms, that is what is important. Circadian clocks, it is a biological rhythm. Okay, so that's all you need to know. This is the end of the class 11th syllabus of my botany part. Okay, so finally today we have finished the syllabus of class 11th. Okay, and in the next class we will start the class 12th syllabus. Okay, in the next class we will start the class 12th syllabus. This PPT I have just sent it to you. I will also write a message how you will have to like it is because of plant growth regulators and all that. I'll just write again a message on your group, but I have sent this PPT to you. Study it carefully, so it will clear most of the questions that are asked in the exams, and this should be more than enough for this chapter. Okay, so thank you, dear students. If you have any doubts, Shillong students and Tamenglong students, let me know. And you will also receive that morphology chapter slide. Okay, the questions you will receive by today. Thank you. Have a great day. Travel home safely. Thank you.